is how you're going to become consistent in the next 30 days or 30 days from today. This is how you're going to become successful. And no, this is not clickbait. In order for you to become consistent, number one, you have to make a decision. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. Let's just get straight into today's video. In order for you to be consistent, you have to do something repetitively, but most importantly, you have to desire it. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. The previous videos that we talked about, if you haven't already subscribed or you haven't been watching, is what do you need to know about being consistent? How do you become consistent within 30 days? What is your mindset have to consist of, and how you're going to align yourself in order for you to be consistent? That was a lot, but the key word in today's video and for the next 30 or 28 or 26 days, whenever you're watching this, is consistency. Why? Because when we align ourselves with what it is, what we're doing, and we take the time and we reassure ourselves and we're present, everything is going to work out how it's supposed to be. Now, being consistent, I'm not here to sell you a dream. Once again, in order for you to be consistent, you must do something every single day. It has to be done daily. It may take years, it may take months, it may take days. It depends on what it is that your goal is, what it is that you're interested in. And if you haven't seen already, I will put them somewhere here on the screen or in the description, the videos talking about what it is that you actually want. In order for you to be successful in any area of your life, you have to have understanding. You must be able to comprehend what it is that you want. You must understand the responsibilities that come with it. So make sure you haven't watched. Make sure you guys already watched those 3 videos. Now, getting into the 4th video, we're going to talk about the passion. So this is going to be your purpose. In order for you to maintain your consistency, because the 30 days is just the beginning. Any goal that you set takes time, energy, and effort. And once you get your goal, depending on what it is, you have to maintain it. So if your goal is to move into a brand new house, get your first apartment, get a car, be in a healthy relationship, move, learn a language, learn a skill, once you pick up that knowledge, once you experience that, what are you going to do after? A lot of people sometimes just have so many mental ideas about what it is that they want. Until they act on it, it just becomes a memory. And a lot of people are afraid. So instead of being afraid, instead of being overwhelmed, we have to take every single day for what it is. And that's what I'm going to do with these videos within the next 30 days. So in this video, we're going to talk about why you are interested in these goals. Why are you interested in accomplishing whatever it is that you want? So if your goal is to lose weight, why do you want to lose weight? And personally, what has helped me along my healing journey and what I recommend to anybody watching this like you is to break things down. Like, you cannot do a trillion tasks in a day. You will burn yourself out, you will work yourself up, and you will feel overwhelmed, you will feel anxious. And not just that, 99% of the time when people burn themselves out, they feel unmotivated. They feel like, I'm not going to show up. You have to learn that being consistent to be, I guess, have consistency, tongue twister, I'm talking really fast, is to realize that you have to take your time. So let me take my own advice and take my time explaining this information to you. So when it comes to you being successful, you have to show up daily. When you show up daily, you can only do a certain amount of tasks. Unless you are already have motion, unless you have a set schedule or routine. If you're trying to lose weight and you never lost weight before, you have to start from the beginning. You have to start with the basics. If you know that you're not able to go to the gym and work out 7 days a week, 10 minutes, 30 minutes every single day, you have to accept where you are and what you have and what you can do to contribute to your goal. So if the only thing you can do right now is to start drinking water or start implementing protein shakes or supplements and nutrients, you start from there. You have to realize if you don't have the resources, the education, or you don't have the support, trying to do something that you never done before is unfamiliar. And instead of you being afraid, instead of you feeling worried, you just have to accept where you are right now. When you're becoming consistent, you have to go through the motion. You have to realize what it is that you're asking for. So in the first 3 videos, we broke down why it's important to understand the consequences. So what would be the consequences of losing weight? I just like to give general knowledge and a general example and analogy, because once again, you get to decide what you want to be successful in or what you want to be consistent in. But the consequences and the responsibility of you losing weight is going to the gym, possibly going to yoga, implementing exercises an hour, 30 minutes every day, every 3 times a week, every 4 times a month. It's up to you. Are you willing to cut off certain foods? Are you willing to start eating foods that you may consider nasty or unhealthy or healthy? Excuse me. Are you willing to educate yourself on YouTube, on the internet, or asking people for advice on dieting or working out? Like, in order for you to be consistent, you have to be educated, you have to be aware, and you have to be able to work with what you have and learn how to figure out solutions, which we're going to be talking about in the next video. But as of right now, we need to know why you're interested in. And the reason why we need to know why you're interested in is because when you have days where you feel, let's just say, unmotivated, or maybe you're tired, or maybe you don't see things working out immediately, what is going to keep you going? That is the consistency. Like I said, it's not the goal, because once you get the house, once you get the job, once you lose the weight, what are you going to do afterwards? And you're going to stop there just because you got what you want to know. You want to continue to live this, especially if this is a lifestyle for you. Your lifestyle is the rest of your life, depending on what it is that you want or what it is that you're valuing. So when you know what it is that you're interested in, when you know the feeling that's going to come from it, when you know your outcome, you will continue to stay motivated. Because speaking from experience, there are going to be times where you're just like, maybe today's not the day for me to work out. Now, just because you have rest days, just because you're taking your time, just because you may not have the energy and effort 100% doesn't mean that you cannot contribute at all. So example of this is if you start your routine, you start losing weight, you start going to the gym, and maybe you've been consistent for like a week or 2 weeks, and you've been working out, let's just say for 2 hours or an hour. I don't know, I'm not a personal trainer. And then one day you decide after the 2 weeks or the week later that you only want to work out for 10 minutes, or you only want to work out for 30 minutes, or you don't want to do a certain exercise because you're building your muscles and maybe you feel tired. Maybe you feel overwhelmed. You have to realize when you're putting your time, energy, and effort into the things that you want, it comes with responsibility. So you need to know why you're interested in these goals. Like, what is the feeling that you want? Psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, what is it that you want to feel? Like, do you want to feel happiness? Do you feel peace from losing out? Do you physically feel healthy and shape? Do you mentally feel stable? Like, what is it that you're feeling, or what is it that you want to feel? Like, in order for you to stay consistent and be successful, you have to realize, how is this going to affect you? Once again, it sounds like common knowledge. Common sense is not common, boys and girls. Like, everyone doesn't have the same finances. So everyone may not be able to afford a gym membership right now, or a personal trainer, or transportation to get to and from the gym. Maybe you don't have the finances to, invest into certain equipment or have the food to eat what you want. So it's just like, how is this going to affect you? Like, when you know why you're doing what you're doing, when you know how it's going to affect you emotionally, losing weight, how that can play a part in your life, physically, how it's going to show up in your life, psychologically, what is it going to do for you? And once again, the whole purpose of you being consistent, and this is why this is not clickbait, is for you to keep going. The 30 days is only the beginning. So we talked about previously, what are your short-term goals? What are your long-term goals? You have to decide what is your short-term goals. You have to decide what are your long-term goals. But in order for you to do this, you have to take time for yourself. Like, being consistent is not something that's unfamiliar to you, because there are many different ways where we're already consistent. You're consistent when you go to school. You're consistent when you go to the club. You're consistent when you go to church. You're consistent when you come on YouTube. Let's be honest. It's just prioritizing ourselves and putting certain areas of attention where we need to focus, because if it's not focusing on us and it's not allowing us to grow in these areas, you putting your time, energy, and effort, that's a reflection of you. Now, I'm not here to discourage or judge anybody, because people are going to do what they want to do. But it's just like, at some point, we have to be accountable and just ask ourselves, well, me focusing my time, energy, and effort into these things, is it bringing you peace? Now, if it's bringing you peace, if it's contributing into your life, if it's motivating you, if it's uplifting you, if it's genuinely working out for you, continue to do it. I'm all about peace of mind and equality. So as long as you're not harming yourself and others, people are allowed to believe and do what they want. Like, nobody has the final say so when it comes to people, because if not, people start to contradict themselves and become hypocritical. Like, if these videos are for you, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below. If they're not, that's fine. But it's like, at the end of the day, you have to show up for yourself. So in order for you to be consistent, this is day 4, and I'm looking at my routine that I have, that I've written down. So if you see me look over there, that's why. But in order for you to be consistent, the next thing that we're going to talk about afterwards is a solution. So why are you interested in what it is that you want to be consistent in? And make sure when you watch these videos, you apply the knowledge. If not, you're going to feel like you watch these videos and nothing changed. It's your mindset. It's your attitude. And if you haven't seen already, we talked about that. You have to be willing to change your mindset in order for you to become consistent. In order for you to become consistent, in order for you to be successful, your mentality has to change. Like I said, if the goal is to lose weight, you have to change your mind about certain foods. You have to change your mind about not doing things that you know that are not contributing into your goal. If your goal is to save money, you have to change your mindset about how you feel about money. If your goal is to save $5,000, $2,000, realistically, you have to figure out, why do you need to save this money? How is this money going to affect you? And do you understand what may come with you saving money? So for example, you may not be able to go out a couple of weekends, or when your friends are going to the club or to parties, you may have to miss out. Are you willing to be obedient? Are you willing to make that time for yourself to save your money? You may have to work maybe 60, 80 hours to get a certain goal. Are you willing to save 20% of your check, 40% of your check? Are you willing to cut down on certain things? Are you willing to downsize temporarily so you can have the financial gain that you want? So you just have to keep in mind, in order for you to be consistent, you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to make action. You have to be willing to be patient, because there's only 24 hours in a day. And sometimes you're not going to be able to control everything and everybody. You can only control yourself and what you choose to do with time. And you have to be okay with where you are and letting go of certain things. Like when you lose weight and you change your diet, speaking from experience, you can't eat what everybody else is eating. So it's just like, if you don't know if this is what you want to do, this is why it's really important to take your time and reflect on what it is that you're asking for, which we talked, which was the first video. What are you trying to receive? Once again, and I'm repeating it because that's the part of being consistent, is muscle, over and over and over again. Eventually you will start to realize, okay, my mental health specialist Ty Goddard said this over and over and over so it can stick. That's how you retain knowledge. That's what consistency is, doing the same thing over, and you can look up the definition, over and over and over and over again. It's all in my head. I keep about it over and over again. Shout out to Nelly, okay? Because it's hurt so bad. So if you have questions, comments, or concerns, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're commenting down below. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Turn on your post notification bell. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All the information will be down in my description box below. Stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going to post it in the same day or whenever you watch this video. And if you have questions, comments, or concerns about this video, or if you want me to talk about something that I haven't, let me know in the comment section. Don't be shy. You watched the video from the beginning to the middle to the end, and this is not your first time here. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Like, when you speak to people, give the energy that you want to receive. And that goes with anything in your life. And that energy, will come back in return. When people don't have the same intentions as you, they will be removed out of your life. So if people are not financing you, feeding you, educating you, or contributing into your goals, or being consistent, be able to create distance. This is not making you a bad person. Just because you set boundaries, just because you have standards, the people that are going to get it are going to get it. So if you have questions or comments, let me know. And when you follow me on social media, on Instagram and on TikTok, I will be going live. I would love to go live here on YouTube, but we got to reach our goal first, but we will in due time. And once I go live, I ask you guys questions. But when you follow me on my social media platforms, on my story, I post a poll and I just ask you guys questions like, what do we need to talk about? What it is that we need to stay away from? What we need to continue to do? Or what is it? How are you guys feeling? Okay, so stay tuned for the next video. I'm gonna slow down. Love you. Bye.